Little puffy clouds, little puffy clouds. It's getting pretty out here in Eugene today, and we're making good progress. We got the top off of this Honda, and what we got underneath is a relatively happy, healthy looking engine. Good morning, everybody. Wildman Willie here on a beautiful cloudy day with the sun trying to come out in Eugene. Just want to start everybody off with a message of positivity. I hope you've got great plans for the day and that you're feeling awake and alive and enjoying every moment of it. If you're not, find something that makes you happy if you can. Today, we're working on a Honda. I've worked on this Honda several times before, and we got a big tune-up ready for it. It's just time. She's got quite a few miles on it. We've also got some undercar stuff to do. That's the second portion of the event, but this is a good, solid car. I put most of the front-end stuff on it. We had some other stuff we didn't do yet. Well, it's time. We got a clunking ball joint on it. But you know what? That gives me an opportunity to get the rest done. Y'all may remember I did a starter on this vehicle recently, and all that went well. But as noted, it's time for ignition tune-up on this. So how we're going to go about that? Went for an economical repair this time, and I wanted to share with you some interesting information. So the vast majority of the parts this time came from FVP, which is my go-to brand from Rock Auto when an economical replacement part is desired. They're less expensive. They're not the cheapest dirt cheap stuff, but they all have a lifetime warranty on them, and I've been really impressed with what I've got from them so far. One time I got some sway bar links, and they had Ramcoa made in USA bushings. Well, folks, I'm finding more interesting like that. I think this brand is just trying to expand coverage with quality. Made in Japan ignition coils. Despite the fact these came from the economy section on Rock Auto, these come with a lifetime warranty, and you see it right there, made in Japan. Now, I can order a Denso brand coil, a Hitachi brand coil. Nothing I do is going to get me a Japanese-made product otherwise. So, don't know how we luck out there, but yeah, I'd say do not be afraid to order an FVP ignition coil pack. They're less money. How much better than that am I going to be? I mean, we got glass fiber reinforced plastic here. The terminal pins are just silver. They're not brass, but I haven't seen them be brass on these. My gasket looks good. My bottom part looks good. Everything about this part looks excellent. And again, that right there, that tells me, who knows? Who knows, folks? But do not be afraid of FVP. We're going to put it on the car. All right, we got the beauty cover off, and you can see where I had the intake off once before. All that looking great. Pretty dirty up under here, so I'm going to grab my compressed air to blow all that out before I pop this cover off. We'll see if I paint that cover today. I might. You know how I am. We'll see. We'll see. If it wipes up good, we'll leave it at that. But I want to go ahead and clear all the debris from the top of the engine really good before I take everything loose, because we're going to do a full valve cover off and valve cover gasket on this guy today. Not a big deal. Just do not want to introduce the nasty crap into the engine. So I'm going to run grab my air compressor and a few things and come right back to this one so I can get rocking and rolling on it. Little puffy clouds, little puffy clouds. It's getting pretty out here in Eugene today, and we're making good progress. We got the top off of this Honda, and what we got underneath is a relatively happy, healthy looking engine. We got the old spark plugs out. Let's do a comparison of that. Ones that came out were NGK, and boy, do they look tired. One's going back in are Denso's this time. I try to go with exactly what the OE did, but we don't spend stupid money on shipping for something like that, especially when Denso made the ignition coils that came on it, so that's a trusted brand as far as I'm concerned. Not too bad getting this one apart. It wasn't too stubborn getting the valve cover popped off. Sometimes these can be. You can see I got my mallet and my wedge to make short work of that. Everything just pulls to the side. Not too much to deal with on all that. It's going to like this tune-up. My next step is to clean up this nasty valve cover, which it ain't too terribly bad. We're not going to paint this one this time around, as well time is of the essence, and this one doesn't look terrible. I can clean that up with a rag and mineral spirits and make it definitely look like I was here today. Underneath, got the spark plug seal tube seals to get out and new ones to put in. No big deal there. And you can see the old gasket still had some flexibility left to most of it, but some of it is crappy, and the grommets were definitely hard, and you can hear that's a little bit slappy. Again, there's no love left in them, so I'm going to have to chisel them bad boys out. That'll be lots of fun. But making great progress, blasting Dark Synthwave and the Prodigy out here in the retirement community, terrorizing them a little bit, but you know what? We're getting it done for them. Also, another little handy trick, I got my dispo cup all full of mineral spirits with all the bolts and nuts that come off, so they're self-cleaning and arranged while I keep them there. So, let's get the music back going and get it back rocking. Continuing to make progress. As you can see, we got a new Felpro firmer dry gasket installed in that. Got my new spark plug tube seals pressed into that. And for that, when I do the pressing, you find one that works best for you, but I got this big bad boy socket right here. What is she, 1 3/16? Is just perfect for mashing them home. So those are in there good. And as you can see, there's some reddishness to all this. What you're looking at is my Permatex high-tack gasket, spray a gasket sealant, which is hairspray for gaskets, which is going to keep that gasket in that groove when I go to flop it over on that valve cover. I like all the help I can get. It doesn't make any difference in how the seal actually goes. It just makes it where it stays where I put it. And as you can see, I cleaned up things pretty good. It's got a little bit of pinky to it for my gasket spray, but we're not looking for a beauty contest here. We're looking for an engine that don't leak and runs good, and that's certainly what we're going to have out of this. So let me go move a couple of hoses out of the way and finagle this onto the car, get that dropped on, and then I'll get the valve cover grommets on the thing. We got new ones of them too. Looking beautiful up under here. The main portion of the tune-up is now done. As you can see, I've got the valve cover reinstalled, all the grommets in, all that tightened up and marked. Got my 4 new ignition coils in, all that good. Got those Denso Iridium Power spark plugs in. Folks, I said we had a Japanese ignition coil. Yeah, well, they sent me one from Japan, and it was labeled that way on the box. The other 3 are made in Poland. With that light gray exterior, this makes me think Standard Motor Products Blue Streak, especially with the made in Poland. So I don't know where FBP is getting them from. Well, I do. It says so on the box. But they aren't making them. In any event, there's nothing wrong with the friggin' coils. Those had brass grommets. I mean, those look real nice. They're like $20 deals. So for this vehicle, and with the ease of access, and with the lifetime warranty they put on it, no fear here. If it throws a bad coil pack at any time, well, we'll take them up on that damn warranty offer. But just interesting to note, only one of them is Japanese. The other 3 are Polish, which is where good coil packs come from. All right, let me get this bolted back on there. Let me get this crap back bolted on there where it goes, and this hose back in place. And then that's the top side pretty much. Got a new air filter to jam in it. I'm going to clean up this nasty cover, but we are on time in Funky Town to get that bottom end worked on. I'll have to go grab my ball joint press for that. Fun times. Well, it's about 2:30. As always, takes me longer than I think it's going to, but as you can see, we've got a beautiful engine back together. Marked plugs, coils, Willie Jenkins marks are 24, and we did the PCV valve, which you can see down in there. Yep, she's all marked up. Everything's marked up, new air filter in it. Looks like I put the last one in it too, so that's cool. So far, so happy with everything. Check stick, fill cap tight, brakes, power steering tight, window wash, coolant caps tight, air filter housing is secure. All my hoses and shit is back where they should be. Everything looks good. My next step is to crank it up and see what it thinks about it. Let's do it live. Moment of truth, folks. Good things expected. Oh, that's just immediately quieter. That's just immediately quieter altogether. Heck yeah. No check engine lights, nothing mad at me. Boy, is that running smooth and quieter. Oh, amazing, folks. It was hitting on all 4 before, but you could tell it was tired with them old spark plugs in it. So, successful mission on that. On to the next step. I love it when I can see all my previous work up there. Look at that. I was here back in 2022 and did them. Pretty sure I did these brake pads back about that time too. Well, let's see. Look, I did do them brake pads. Them's holding up good. But, you know, not everything goes planned all the time. I had called this one a bad ball joint. I'm not going to call that a great ball joint. But that ain't where the play's at, folks. It's in that control arm bushing. That's where my clunk and thunk and extra movement is. The ball joint's doing its damn job. Now, again, the boot is busted. Don't get me wrong. It ain't happy. But the correct solution to this, I mean, I can press this ball joint in and a new one back, but that ain't going to solve the fucking clunk. Excuse my language. That right there is where that's coming from. So I'm going to recommend to the client we do a full control arm on this car, which means I got to get one, which means this don't get done today. That being said, as it is control arm bushing, I know that will clunk, but it's not going to come loose and kill the client. It's not. I mean, there's plenty of meat in there. There's play, but that's not death becomes us like the ball joint can be. Sway bar, I took it loose before I jacked the car up. That's what you do on these to make life easy. I am going to service these sway bar bushings and these sway bar links while I'm here, but real quick, I'm going to have a little talk with the customer. Here we go. Alright, we're just going to make this video quick as customers running out of daylight with me, and that's okay. I didn't know they had to go somewhere. Tell me next time beforehand. Anyway, new sway bar links are in nice and tight. New sway bar bushings in nice and tight. Same deal on the other side. All we got to do now is put this wheel back on the ground, and, well, she's tighter than she was. We'll be back for those control arms. I'm kind of pissed about that, but so be it. Also managed to bust my lip real good with that sway bar. I'm glad it didn't bust my tooth. Anyhow, let me get this jacked up and this wheels back on this car for this customer, and we'll get it rolling down the road. But should be less sway and play. Maybe that'll help locate that bad control arm bushing a little bit better. We'll see. You can see here, I managed to make that Honda do a disappearing act. Got them on the road. Now it's time for me to load up all my crap. We are getting more moisture from the tailpipe than I would like out of that car, and I have noted that on it before. Don't see any slime in my coolant. Don't seem to lose a much coolant. We got a slow leak. I just changed the radiator cap today. Anyway, we're going to call that just nasty shit from the atmosphere in rainy Oregon, as it may very well be. Oh, God, it looks like a bomb went off. Let me clean up my shit and get out of here. Got one more to go look at. We're just doing a look at on it. Meet and greet with the customer. So, exciting times. One big one done.